Hi guys, I don't really know where to begin, but basically this is Tuesday. I'm filming this Monday around like 9:15 at night. I just finished doing a tester Tuesday for next week, but I'm not gonna have time to have it go up this week, and I just was trying to film a bunch of videos. But I'm not gonna have time to edit. So I'm just gonna get on here and chat with you guys real briefly and kind of update you what's been going on. If you don't know, I've been dealing with some personal stuff and some family stuff, and I think a few of you guys can guess what it was or what it had to do with. I wasn't quite ready to share with you what exactly happened, and I'm not quite ready to share with you guys now because I feel like when I tell you, it becomes real. And I don't know how I feel about comments either about the situation. So I might actually disable comments after this video goes live or not read the comments. I know you guys have been very, very supportive and so positive and beneficial in helping me stay positive and motivated and kind of just keep going through this all. But because I'm actually making a video about what is going on, I'm very scared to have the comments go live. So basically, 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago at this point, I think, no, 2 weeks and like a day, my air conditioning just went off, sorry. My mom had a stroke, and I had seen her the night before. It was Sunday. And we were fine. Everything was normal. I was visiting her like I always visit her on Sundays, typically, or on the weekends in Orange County. You know, we ran a couple errands, we were talking a lot, and I had seen her that Thursday as well. So I saw her multiple times that week because I was in New York and I wanted to make sure I would be able to see her. And when I go out of town, I tend to leave some valuables at her house. So, and I left the dogs with her because of the fact that we were also moving immediately when I got back. So I had seen her that Thursday and we just had a great time like catching up. I was sharing with her my YouTube videos, all the photos and vlogs I had done in New York. And on Sunday, it was the same thing. I was telling her about like potential things I was doing because of my YouTube channel, and she was so proud of me because I was going to be teaching a class as well as invited to this convention in Orange County, and she was going to be my guest. I was going to write her down as one of my guests. And afterwards I was going to have like a vocal recital that she was going to come with me, hopefully, if she wasn't too tired. And we ran some errands. We went and had dinner. She wanted to have fish at SereinWu's, which was a little odd that she was so specific in what she was craving because typically she's not like that, but we went and had SereinWu's. She yelled at me to vacuum, so I vacuumed the downstairs for her, and she asked me to take the trash cans out, and I did that, and then I hugged her goodbye and I just drove off. The next morning she was supposed to get a biopsy. It was a routine biopsy. They were concerned about one of her lymph nodes being a little bit swollen and enlarged. I'm not quite sure on all the details of it because she wasn't concerned about this biopsy, and I wasn't concerned about this biopsy because she wasn't nervous. This was supposed to just be a simple procedure. And I was busy moving with Hubs on Monday. I knew in the back of my mind, I was really worried about it in the back of my mind, but I was like, you know, she's not worried about it, she's not concerned. She just wanted to get home after dinner to watch her Chinese Idol, which is like a Chinese singing competition. Hubs and I call it Chinese Idol because we don't know what else to call it. She loves watching those singing competitions, and she was really excited about watching it at 7 o'clock. I was moving stuff, and the one time I put my phone down on the counter while we went to grab something from the car, my brother texted me and called me, and I came back and Hub said, "Your brother called you and texted you," and I just knew something was wrong. So I read the text and it said, "Call me," and I called him back immediately, and he told me that my mom, he just told me the day's events and how my mom went in for a biopsy, and I just I was like, I know she went in for a biopsy. What happened? Is everything okay? And he said, well, there was a complication and she had a stroke. So they weren't sure if she was gonna make it immediately because they were really worried about seizures and getting her vitals stable, and they're worried about other about seizures. I don't know much about strokes. And she was in the ICU for a couple days. He told me I was welcome to come down, but that I had to try and remain as positive and calm as possible because my mom was very confused and very scared. She wasn't able to communicate. She's still not really able to communicate with us. And she's immobile on her right side. So my mom was in the hospital for about 2 weeks. And the first weekend I was there by myself during the days because, you know, between my sister, my brother, and I, we've been taking shifts. And also I went to visit when she finally got out of the ICU. And Hubs went while she was still in the ICU to check out everything and kind of just let me know how everything was going to be and how to prepare me for when I saw her for the first time because I didn't want to upset her. And then he took me the next day and we went and saw her together, and she was just sleeping, and it was the first day she was out of the ICU. When I saw her sleeping, it seemed like she was, you know, just sleeping. Then we were told that she had to be moved to a skilled nursing facility because we weren't going to be able to take her home from the hospital. She would have to be transferred first to a skilled nursing facility. That was really hard to hear because when you hear nursing facility or nursing home, it's just never something I ever wanted for my mom or thought was gonna happen. And you hear horror stories and I just feel like a horrible child because I'm not able to have her live with me, or I can't take care of her. So the following day, she was sleeping again a lot, but she would squeeze my hand. The following weekend, my brother and sister went to go tour the skilled nursing facilities while I watched and stayed with my mom. And, you know, I felt like I don't want, you know, I would talk to her. I tried to stay positive, and then I decided I was going to show her YouTube videos of Celine Dion singing because she really, really likes Celine Dion, and she always loves it whenever they sing My Heart Will Go On. And not just if Celine Dion sings it, but like anybody. If anybody sings My Heart Will Go On from Titanic, and it doesn't even matter if you're on pitch, she just loves that song. So I pulled it up on YouTube and I played it for her, and she actually looked like she was watching it. And I hate that song. I used to hate that song so much. But now, like, I've listened to it so many times because I feel like every time I play it for her, she actually seems to see it. So I played her that song, and I played a couple other songs, and then I was talking to her, kind of just telling her about my apartment because she was supposed to have gone and seen it that Thursday. She was supposed to come and visit me on Thursday and see my new apartment. This is the first place she hasn't seen me live in, like where I've moved, and she hasn't been able to come see me or see where I live. So that was really hard for me to realize when that day came, the day that she said she was going to come visit, and she couldn't. So I would just try and like keep her active, engaged, and that was the first day that a physical therapist came, and I learned some of the exercises to help her because we want to avoid as much joint damage and shortening of the joints and muscle atrophying as much as possible, especially since all she is doing is laying in bed and sleeping for the most part. So They sat her up. She was a little bit more awake and active. And then it kind of regressed again because she had to get an MRI. Like, she was awake and alert and fidgety and stuff, and you know, I felt like she understood what we were saying, and she just had trouble communicating, but she could kind of process what we were saying, and her eyes were a little bit more alert. But then after a couple of days of this alertness, and where I felt like maybe there was hope because I still saw my mom, she had to get sedated for an MRI, and then after that they had to insert a more permanent feeding tube in her stomach versus the one that was going through her nose. And again with the sedation, and I think she had a pretty bad urinary infection that they were trying to treat, so all of that took a toll on her energy and took a toll on her awareness. So she started sleeping more consistently and for most of the day, and they finally transferred her. That was a whole thing. They said they were going to transfer her, and then they didn't, and then they said they were ready, and then they said that the place we picked wasn't qualified enough, even though it was on the list. And then they were going to transfer her, but then they wanted one more CT, and they were going to transfer her, but then her vitals weren't good enough, and then it was just a whole back and forth, a constant back and forth. And they finally moved her, and I've been going down to visit. She was in the hospital, she was in LA, so it was really, it was easier for me to go multiple times a day or just stay all day and come back and sleep. But now she's in Orange County, so it's harder for me to see her every day because I still have obligations and things I have to do up here. But she's more stable. She's not hooked up to any major machinery anymore. She is still being fed by a feeding tube. I guess the hardest thing is that I don't know what's gonna happen, and neither do the doctors. The doctors can't tell me what to prepare for because it's a back and forth. She could have some good days, she could have some bad days. She could recover to a point where she can sit up and be somewhat mobile and communicate with us, or she could remain the same, and we just won't know. That's pretty much what has been going on. I've been wanting to spend as much time as I can with my mom, and when I'm not spending time with my mom, I'm making videos or sleeping or, you know, doing what I have to do. My husband's been amazing. He's been taking care of the dogs, he's been taking care of the house, and just anything I need him to do, he's been trying to do it all for me. And I've got some amazing friends who check in on me, and you know, my friend Sarah ran IKEA for me. My brother and sister have been handling, I think, the most difficult stuff. I don't know what to tell you guys other than that's kind of the update of what's been happening. And I know a lot of you guys were curious and wanted to pray for us and send us positive thoughts, and I truly appreciate it. And I'm going to continue to make my videos. I have a video schedule that I'm sticking to. Today's Tester Tuesday obviously is more of an update, or a update, not a Tester Tuesday, because I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to put this video in, and I just didn't have time to do another Tester Tuesdays video, because Tester Tuesday videos take the whole day to film, and or if not weeks, because I have to test out a product for that long. And while I have been continuing to like communicate with brands and test out products, and I use a lot of skincare still because it's the easiest thing for me to do at night, it's just been really hard to do it. So I filmed one that will go up next week, but I dropped the ball this week, and I hope you guys can forgive me for it. I don't really know what this video is about other than me telling you guys as much detail that I'm willing to share at this point, and probably too much information. But I had talked to Hubs in the car, and I said, you know, maybe I'll just put up an update video for tomorrow, because I said I don't have a video for tomorrow. And he was like, well, you know, I just be careful not to let it just fall away. And I think he's concerned because ever since I started my YouTube channel, I haven't been as depressed, or I haven't fallen into these long months or weeks of depression where I can't get out of bed or off the couch or leave the house. And while it would be so easy for me to do that right now and just sleep and lay in bed and not deal with the world and not deal with any of this, because that's what I want to do. Having you guys and knowing that you guys are there supporting me, even though I might not have met you in person, I feel like, you know, I recognize your screen names, I recognize your thumbnails. Seeing the Snapchats from you guys, seeing the comments on Instagram, seeing the comments on my videos, like, knowing how strong you guys are for me and how positive you guys have been for me has kept me going and has gotten me out of bed every morning, even though I do not want to get out of bed right now. So, you're giving me strength to keep going and to live my life as much as possible and be there for my mom. My camera started flashing, so I don't know what happened, but maybe you got the last 5 minutes, maybe you didn't. I want to thank you guys for that, because, you know, before YouTube, I don't know how I would have done this. I don't know how I would get through this. I don't know how I'm gonna get through this now. So, yeah. I'm truly, truly blessed with the close personal friends I have that have reached out to me, who have made an effort to help run errands for me, or help just by listening to me cry or calling or texting. And I'm truly blessed with you guys watching, and my subscribers and my viewers and my friends, my family, my community, you guys. I'm incredibly blessed with my brother and my sister, because they're making the really hard. They're doing the hard stuff. I'm just there to, like, entertain my mom and help her with her physical therapy and kind of annoy her, hopefully annoy her to stay awake, which is exhausting in itself. But she was my biggest supporter of anything I ever wanted to do. And I didn't even tell her about YouTube at first, but then when I finally did, she didn't think I was crazy. She just watched my videos because she knew it would help me, and she would like all my videos because she knew it would help my channel. And when I was a part of the Laura Beauty Blogger contest, she voted for me every single day. She started a Twitter account so she could vote for me and share my videos. And she did that for me for the It Girl contest and the Pacifica Muse contest, even though she was healing from surgery. She believed in me no matter what. And I hope you have someone in your life that does that for you, because growing up with someone who believes in you like that has made me be able to try and fail at so many things in my life, and has made me become the person I am today. So I just hope for the best, but also have to prepare for the worst, is what all the doctors say. And even my friend who's a doctor says that, and unfortunately that's all I can do. So I appreciate all of your prayers and your positive thoughts and well wishes. I know my family and my mom appreciates it. And I want you guys to know that I'm not going anywhere, but if I skip a couple here and there, and it won't be really, because I haven't skipped since this all happened in terms of videos, but if I'm not as around or if I'm not as responsive, it's because I can't right now. But I am reading all my comments. And when I'm with my mom and I'm feeling really upset, I usually pull up my comments and I read the newer comments, and it helps me stay strong and positive for her. So I want to thank you guys for that, and I'm going to try and start Snapchatting a little bit more now that you guys know what has been going on. And I feel guilty for having a day off from visiting with her, but I also just needed to get stuff done and kind of get back to somewhat of a schedule for me. I'm going to be trying to visit her a couple times a week. It's hard. It's like a 2-hour drive to where she is right now from where I live. And it's something we have to consider in the future, if we're going to stay where we just moved. We literally just moved. Or if we are going to think about moving closer to her. So everything's kind of up in the air. Everything's kind of unknown, which is why everything's so hard. So thank you guys so much. If this is the first video you're ever watching of me, my name's Serein. My channel is Dress Yourself Happy, and I apologize that this is the first video you're watching of mine, so please click on any other video. I do product reviews, and I usually make videos to hopefully inspire and motivate you guys. But, you know, as much as I want to be there for you, you guys have been there for me through and through, and I think it's only fair to be completely honest with you whenever possible. And I am being completely honest with you. I just am omitting some facts for privacy reasons. And yeah, so I will see you on Friday for my monthly favorites, which is already filmed, and I don't think I'm crying in it. I'm not crying in it. And also there's a Sunday what's in my handbag video, which will be interesting because it's what's been in my handbag while I've been at the hospital. So yeah, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.